Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 15. It is Wednesday, January the 18th, 2023. I like to start off my videos by thanking my wonderfully talented husband for writing and performing the song that you just heard, introducing the video. I would like to also take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. If you are new, I hope you like what you see and that you will subscribe, like, share, ring the bell, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. If you are a returning viewer, I'm going to thank each and every one of you that I got to sample for Symposium. You guys are the best. I just felt like you were all there with me in the car, in the plane, egging me on, getting me there. And I just want to thank you all for that. Was terribly late in answering most of the comments because of Sample Symposium, and I apologize for that, but they do keep you busy. So this video is going to be a whirlwind of free association about the joys and the new friendships and everything that goes along with going to your first retreat. I did have the small retreat in February of 2022, but this was my first formal retreat with guest speakers and lecturers and a lot of people that attended and a lot of new people that were met, and it was just I have no words. So what I thought I would do today is I wanted to address a couple of comments I made a note about, and then I'm going to, if you could see what this table looks like, I want to try to go through, hopefully, and remember all names correctly, and share with you a little bit about some of the things that I received at the symposium, and then we will go through the actual pieces. I will show briefly that the guest speakers brought, and then we'll delve back into a little bit of the normal FlossTube episodes of segments is a better word, of finishes, new starts, and whips, which are works in progress. So I'm going to just kind of start grabbing things after we get through with these comments, and then trying to get them out of the table so that I don't knock the camera over. That would just make this video the icing on the cake. So a couple of comments that I did want to address. Connie did ask me again about how much time I stitched. As I have said before, but a lot of you may be new, I usually break up my stitching into two segments during the day. I stitch in the morning, usually for about 2.5 hours. I stitch in the afternoon for sometimes 3 to 5 hours, I would say. And then from dinner time on, I don't stitch at all. That's sort of the time that Stan and I have together, and we eat and exercise and maybe watch just a little TV before we go to bed. I think what the other part of her question was, when you're working, how can you accomplish and stitch as much? Well, you know, the answer is you can't. But I will share that when I was working, I always had a piece with me at work, and I would usually stitch for 30 to 40 minutes in the morning before I started seeing patients, and I would stitch at lunch, which was usually about an hour and 15 minutes, and then stitch for an hour and a half when I got home at night. And all of that did add up. It is nothing compared to being retired and having this incredible luxury of being able to stitch as much as I want to. So I hope that helped you, Connie. And then the other comment that is alluded to many times when I go through and read them is a apprehension to start a big piece. And I just want to share with all of you what I write back in those answering those comments is, if you would just look at a big piece as a bunch of little pieces on just the same piece of fabric, try that. Because really, if you think about it, that's what it is. Maybe that'll give you a little inspiration to start some bigger pieces that you may have been eyeing and wanting to start. So those were a couple of things that I wanted to address from the comments that I love to read. I love hearing from all of you, and you know that it means a lot to me. So what I want to do is I'm just going to start showing you some of the loveliness that I received at the at Symposium, and I want to try to give the names of those people. I do have permission, and so we will get started with that. The first one is this beautiful little basket. Look at this, and this was made by Terry Wiley. She had the little floss cards in there and different colored buttons all the way around. And of course she made me cry because this is like the first piece that someone gave me, I guess, because I was doing a FlossTube. So Terry, that's going to hold a special place in my heart. So thank you for that. And I will use it every day. We had a new, well, I'm going to back up. When there was a group of us, that, as I mentioned, that went in February, several of that same group, we came in early to Symposium. And that was Gina and Stacy of the 911 Stitcher, and Rita and Nanette. I think that's all, because is that 5? Let's see. Stacy, Gina, Rita, Nanette, and I, right. So, but we did acquire some new table mates and some new friends, and one of those was Terry from North Carolina, and these were some little floss tags that she gave, and that's a picture of her dad. So those were lovely, and we enjoyed meeting her and stitching with her. The other new table mate that we had was the incredible Angie of Two Eclectic Stitchers. Now she has her own, she does a lot of quilting and has her own company that's called Lunchbox Quilts. And so she made, her husband got the laser thing and made this beautiful floss drop with her logo on it. And then she gave us a beautiful, some floss bling. And this is a tomato that is off of one of her quilts. So Angie, we'll put those to good use. Thank you. And then Diane gave us a thread bed. This is my first one of these, and so I was very excited. So it looks like this. Look at that gorgeous fabric. And then you can put your thread in there, and your to hold it in between. Don't get any ideas that I'm going to give up my dangling threads, but anyway, this would work for that. So thank you, Diane, for that. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, I got a strawberry from Grace, the Paisley Stitcher. And look at this. Is that not delicious? I felt like a kid at Christmas. So that was from Grace. And we got a needle minder, and this is from Under the Garden Moon. I don't think her first name is on there. But Amy from Under the Garden Moon, and she is planning to put out some new cross-stitch charts. So look for that. So I'm very excited about that. And I got some floss drops these were from Lori, and her Instagram handle is, I'll put that down below, Carns_in_stitches. And so that was these, which are gorgeous. Some Quakers going on there. Okay, now, I just was so excited. I got some pins from Jersey Girl Stitch Company. I met Teresa. It was just exciting. Look, are those not gorgeous? I am so excited about that. And because Gina, that we met, made this pin keep, which is just gorgeous. I'm thinking, there we go. Red and red. So thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Gina. Gina also gave us this bag that held the pin keep. I got a whole bunch of stickers. Thank you, Gina. So we will put all of that again to good use. From Stacy, Stacy gave us this beautiful Teresa Kogut bag. Let's see, let's back up. You can see that. It was just loaded with goodies. And this is some bling that was made by Rita. And Rita gave us some homemade cookies and candies, which you have to have, lots of chocolate at a retreat. Let's see, and then also from Stacy, there was a floss minder from DMC, and a needle, and just everything had little charms on it. I mean, they were just so precious. And from the wax thread, we got some, why am I blanking on the name? The stuff that you can run your thread through. Look at that. All tied up with this beautiful ribbon, and each one had a little bling on it. We also got this salve that you can put on your hands to keep them soft. It was also wrapped like this, and I opened that quickly and started using it and put it in my my bag that holds all my needles, scissors, etc. So that's already in there. And we got a piece to mark your stitching on the back. So all of that was from Stacy. Oh, and here's some more. We got another. Thank you, Stacy. It was so much fun. Okay, so I got that. And then, oh my goodness, from Nanette. Sorry, I didn't mean to get right in your face. This is just incredible. Okay, she gave us some bling. I'll let you see that right there. And a cute little, let me hold that up. And then there's some scissors and a heart with a lock. And this, she did not make this pillow, but it's filled with lavender. It's like wonderful. Then she did make this bag. Look at this bag. It's got the zipper ends. It's got the ribbon. It's lined with beautiful fabric. So that held our goodies. But this last thing was kind of you had to guard it with your life. People wanted to take it right off of you. It was a badge holder, okay? Now, do you see that? I've got to make at least cross stitch something prettier to go in that. But that holds your badge. Then you've got a zipper here that you could put credit cards, change, that type of thing. There is a pocket on the back that could hold your phone. And then we wore them around our neck. And literally, I mean this, people would stop and want to know where this came from. Nanette does not sell them, but I think she could make a living doing it if she chose to do so, just from this retreat. So thank you, Nanette. And she also gave this. This is so sweet. It's just a little bowl with one of the little felt balls in it. And I have been keeping it right by my side, holding my needles as I stitch. So that was, I think, that was all the goodies. So I'm going to stop for 1 minute and move some of this off the table so that I can start going through the pieces that we received at the symposium. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I forgot a couple of things. This sweet, sweet pattern was from Ray Niles, Red Barn Samplers. And this was a piece of Isabella Roberts, who completed her sampler in 1848. And so this is going to be perfect for making a little pin keep or just anything you want. But how sweet. And she put a little, this needle, and this was to use to poke out your corners if you were somewhere where you didn't have your normal tools of the trade, shall we say. And the other thing that I forgot to show you was that Rita also gave us some Cosmo thread, and I have never used that. So again, that's one of the exciting things about going to a retreat, is trying new things. So so this is Cosmo thread. I think it's Jean Farish that likes to use Cosmo thread in a lot of her designs. So beautiful red colors. Okay, so now we're going to just really briefly, because I know a lot of people will go through this and they will probably do it in much more detail and much better than I will. But Friday night, we was Vicki and Megan of Needlework Press, and the project was this parlor pincushion, and they gave us everything that we needed to put this together. And I actually did start that. This was the fabric and the backing, and you had a choice of making it either on a linen or the choice that I did. And so this was my start. Let me see. Yeah, here. So I did do a center start because the piece was cut. But there were people that almost finished this, and probably there were people that did finish it, but of the people I saw that had nearly completed it. So I look forward to finishing that and putting that together. They are wonderful. Of course, Vicki and Megan were just a delight to listen to and to learn all about, and to have this wonderful project. So that was Friday night's project, and then Friday night was the night that we honored Brenda for her birthday. I'm pretty sure it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday night. Friday night, that was the night we did it. So Grace of Paisley Stitcher and Susan Stanley of Susan Stanley Stitches in Time and I had been cahooting together to crown Brenda the queen of cross stitch. So we brought Brenda up, and I will be inserting some pictures here as I talk. And she was given a sash that was made by Susan Stanley, and that was to be passed around the room where we could add our initials to it. Barry of Stitch Folk made the most gorgeous tomato. It was huge. It was large, but it was beautiful. And she was given that. I crowned her with a golden hoop. I got an embroidery hoop that I had painted and put some bling on, and I stitched a button, a covered button with B on it in red because that's Brenda's favorite color. And then Grace gave her her scepter, which was a large wooden needle, and it was strung with spools of 103s in reds. It was just beautiful. And then her orb, which was a big red wooden button that Grace also painted and had for her. And then everyone sang happy birthday, and Brenda's family was there. Her husband and her two beautiful daughters got to share this wonderful celebration. And that was, it was just magical. We had cake afterwards, and so I think it went well for Brenda. We didn't make her wear her crown, but we ceremoniously did crown her. So hold on just one second. Everything went to the floor. Okay, so that was Friday night, and that was needlework prep. There we go. Okay, we're back. I'm not going to stop it. I knew I was going to do that. Everything is so, I've never had this much stuff on my table ever. So sorry about that. So the next night was Nicola from Hands Across the Sea. And just wow to that. She brought two projects for us to do. And those are, the first one was Anne Campion, and that's 1845. And the theme of her talk was upstairs, downstairs. So she went over a class distinction and how these young ladies, how you might tell from their samplers who stitched what. Now, of course, this was stitched by a downstairs young lady. All that history will be in the book. And then we had Sarah Milthrop, 1834. Look at this. Is it not gorgeous? I got the 36 count fabrics. So for Sarah, I'm going to be using the Tabby Cat Cream Brulee in 36 count with sorry, where are my silks? Look at this. Oh, look at those. These are, I'm pretty sure, no, they're Belsois, Soie silks. So I have stitched with Soie silks. That's what I used for the TGA sampler. And then for Anne Campion, it's still the Soie, and this is the color combination for that. So two incredibly beautiful pieces. The fabric for Anne Campion is Wood Smoke, also by Tabby Cat. Let's take that one out because I'm starting to have my sunshine lines. I don't know if that will help much, but it's just a gorgeous piece of fabric. And this will be my first time to stitch on Tabby Cat. So that was Nicola's presentation and her patterns. She's amazing. She is so knowledgeable, so lovely. It was all magic. So that was those projects. And what I didn't show you was, which is quite really exciting and kind of fun, is the piece, another thing that we got on Friday night from Jean, oh dear lovely Jean, is this bag. okay? But the exciting thing is that we got this, and you can see that says Attic Needlework Sampler Symposium 2023. And this is a pattern that if you want, you could stitch it anywhere, but you can put it on the front of your bag with like a pearl cotton, a 5, I think it's a 5. But I didn't realize that I was picking up the pearl cotton to go with the color bag I had. So I'll probably, because I picked up this 315 and my bag is red. So I'll probably do another choice, maybe a darker red, or use 6 strands of DMC or something. But anyway, so that'll make a lovely memento of the trip. So I forgot to show you that. So that was, so Nicola went on Saturday morning, and then Claudia Kistler did a talk on the Sudbury Hall School for Girls. And these were the 2 patterns that we got there. And the interesting thing was about a lot of these was they were stitched on perforated paper and made into bookmarks. So it was a lovely talk about that history and the history of that school, where actually it was a school that was founded to provide a home and industrial training for homeless and destitute girls who would otherwise be in danger of becoming criminals. And it offered training for future jobs in domestic service. So we got this chart, and we also got, oh, look at this. It is Isabel Thatcher, 1871. And this is a Bristol sampler. So I'm going to have plenty to do on my red work Thursdays. So that was gorgeous. So that was Claudia Kistler. She was charming. Has a great sense of humor, and it was a lovely talk. It was amazing just to feel like how much you were expanding your knowledge at the symposium, not just stitching but learning as well. The afternoon speaker was Kathleen Littleton, and her talk was Quaker samplers, not just about medallions. And I think she covered these type of samplers over about 400 years. And this was the book that we got, just loaded with samplers and information, and she went through each of them. I know that wasn't a very good picture, but anyway, it was amazing. And she's amazing and a force of nature. She is the mother of 14 children, 12 girls and 2 boys. And she's creating. Go women. And her project was, this is Anne Hunt Nelsey, 1805. It is a Quaker medallion sampler. And so we received this pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? With, I got a 36 count. This is, I can't read the fabric. Let me see if it says what the called for is. Oh, it's Maritime White by Lakeside Linens. So look at that. Lakeside. I met Pat of Lakeside Linens at the symposium. So that was pretty exciting. And then the thread that I'm going to be using is Belle Soie in Her Crown. So that will be, so that was the kit that we were given. Aren't those gorgeous? Oh, I love Belle Soie. So, sorry, knock those down. Okay, so that will be for Anne Hunt Nelsey, 1805, from Catherine Littleton. Cross Stitch Antiques. Okay, So that takes us through Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we had Mary Cox. Oh, what a delight. And we got this box. It's called the Pet Lamb Sewing Set. And I didn't really take everything out, and I don't really want to completely do an unboxing, but I did want you to see, because it's my first 103s. I'm very excited about that. We got little scissors. Oh, I apologize for the crinkle. I'm just going to make a big, huge crinkle and dump all this out, but I want you to see these scissors. They're little storkettes. They're little tiny things. And we got some, we got buttons. We got antique needles. I mean, real live antique needles. And then we got all of the finishing material to make the little purse. And it looks like this is the chart. We got ribbon. And we got everything and instructions to make all these pieces. This is a must. And she uses the nun stitch to finish off the edges. So I'm looking forward to trying my hand at that. So that was Mary Cox, and this was the Pet Lamb Sewing Set. So that, sort of in a nutshell, and I know I went through that quickly, was the Symposium. But, and I also got my first thing of cottage garden threads. Jean gave us one of those to try if we haven't used it. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the thing to remember about this symposium, and there's no way I can touch on everything, but it's the community of stitchers. It's meeting new people. It's stitching together, eating together, communing together. That it's priceless. You can't. It's very hard to. It's hard to describe each moment and how wonderful it was, but I was able to drive to and from the Sacramento airport. And like I said, I feel like all of you were there with me and helping me. And the flights were wonderful. I was never delayed because, as most of you know, the morning that I woke up, all domestic flights had been grounded. That was the headline on Wednesday morning. So it was kind of a rock and roll trip. Our friend Nanette, who came from Hawaii, she did not fare so well and was scheduled to arrive early Wednesday morning and did not arrive until late Wednesday night. But she got there, and we were all there. And so it was just meant to be. And again, I want to thank all of you for all of your support in helping me get there. So I still may, oh my goodness, I'm still finding things. Look, this was from Minnie McBean's Needlework Fripperies. You guys have all heard Nicola talk about that. Again, that was another present from Jean. So, yeah, it's pretty incredible. Okay. I feel a tad out of sorts, and I'm reliving memories in my head. So I hope you guys are okay with that. I'm going to jump back in, I think, to my regularly scheduled segments. And I did have a finish, not a fully finish, but I wanted to share that with you. And it is Love and Joy by Heartstring Samplery. I stitched this on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus using a Mrs. Seda silk that I had left over from stitching Pandemic, the 2020 Pandemic sampler, which is now fully finished and on my wall. So that is Love and Joy, Come to You, Heartstring Samplery. And I look forward to finishing. I plan to do that in a pillow. Okay, so that was my finish. Okay, my new starts, and I want to do these in a particular order. The Parlor Pin Keep, which was the project that Vicki and Megan from Needlework Press, I counted that as a new start, and I have showed that to you in my progress. These are also the threads for the Parlor Pin Keep. They're all classic color works, and they were just gorgeous. So there are those. The first new start that I had was the Scarlet House's Martha Evans, 1879. And as you all know, this was the piece that we are doing to celebrate Brenda's 60th birthday. This is the chart. It is an incredible sampler. I did get to see Tanya this trip. I was originally going to do this on 40 count Hemingway, which is the called for. The piece that I have was not big enough to start. And again, so this is a story about it takes a village to do a cross stitch piece. But when I realized that on Friday night, we went back to the attic on Saturday. We would go to the attic a lot, shall we say, because that's just the place to go. And several of you, Carrie, you were one of them, helped me to pick out a piece of fabric, another, because I wanted to do this on 40 count, helped me pick that piece out. And in fact, Carrie and I split a piece of, we chose the Seraphim, I thought I had a card, but maybe I haven't made it. This is 36 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim. And I'll show you my little start, because this is on 40 count. And it is a little start, but I think I'm going to be able to do it. I started this at the Symposium. But what we did is we had the piece of Hemingway, and we were matching it up with this piece. And half of this piece looked much greener, and Carrie took that half. And then I took this half that's got a lot more of the browns like the Hemingway. So this is what I will be doing Martha Evans on. And I'm using the called for DMC. It was, I do think I'm going to have a lot easier time stitching on this here at home with my big light, my normal stitchy spot. But I will say I felt comfortable stitching on it at the Symposium. I had my little light with me, and I did a little stitching up in the room. So that is my second new start. So that is Martha Evans, 1879 by the Scarlet House. And that is the sale for, I hope you will all join. As you know, Penny Tucker put a wonderful stitch along together to honor Brenda. And it'll be wonderful following everyone's progress on this beautiful sampler. Okay, so that is Martha Evans. Yes, it was, no, it's, you know, this is 40 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim with the call for DMC. I did make a card for it. Now, this last new start, I've kind of held back in talking about Jean. Jean is she just is a light that inspires us and pushes us to be better in the craft of cross stitch. She puts together a symposium that is first class. You know, it's an 11 out of 10. I could go on and on about it. And she is a lovely, lovely human being. Well, I found out from Stacy, the 911 stitcher, was supposed to pick up some things for a friend of ours, Bettina, who lives in Germany. And one of those was a piece called Ursula's Sampler. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a piece that Jean designed. It is, it's an Italian red work sampler. It was from 2015. And I'm just looking to see. Jean thinks it was probably stitched in 1900. I could not pass up getting a piece to start just for Jean, designed by Jean and for Jean. So she picked out the fabric for me, and we went with a 36 count, Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. And this was the piece that I worked on the most while I was at the symposium. So, and I am using a silk Belsois in Tulip. So that's the, and you'll see what it looks like on the fabric. And this is my work so far. Look at the big ornate A. Is that not gorgeous? But this is a big piece. I had to get a fat half at 36 count to stitch it on. But this is a piece that I will have that just honors the attic Jean, everything. And so it's obviously going to have a lot of meaning for me. And I'm so glad I chose it to work on. Jean, I love you. Okay, so those were my new starts. So now we will go through whips and then a little bit of my plans. And I think we'll have a video. What do you think? Okay, so whips are Mary Snow, as you know, was the piece that I picked to stitch on the first week of every month. And that is Mary Snow by Hands Across the Sea. And it is hashtag hats first week of the month Sal. I did give it its full 7 days. I am stitching it on a 36 count winter wheat by Color and Cotton. And I am using the called for DMCs. And this is my progress so far for 7 days. Such a sweet sampler. And I have the joy of another swan on the other side. So that is Mary Snow by Hands Across the Sea. And I will work on it the first 7 days of the month until I finish it. Okay. All right. So that is Mary Snow. My next piece is Mary 395, which is my Thursday piece, and that is also by Hands Across the Sea. And I am stitching this on 36 count antique ivory Edinburgh, and I'm using a Gloriana poinsettia and also a little hollyberry, which this was kitted up at Acorn and Threads, and I got to meet Janine. She is just wonderful. I had actually met Janine when I was at Acorn and Threads, but I definitely got to spend more time with her at the symposium and enjoyed every minute of it. So this is my progress on Mary 395. So as you can see, I'm about to get across with another row. And tomorrow we will have some time together along with Jean's Ursula's sampler. So this is a Bristol sampler by Hands Across the Sea. And so the other thing that I find that I really love, so I've got these Bristol samplers going. Ursula's sampler is an Italian red work. I've got Martha Evans is a Welsh sampler. So I love this ability to be stitching on samplers from other countries with other influences and have them all going at the same time. And the joy of, as you do that, then you start recognizing those characteristics in other samplers, which is just lovely. So that is Mary 395. And I have a piece, oh, okay. And then my next, I think my card fell. I'm just gonna kind of grab it. Wasn't that graceful? Okay. My next whip is Holiday Rooster by Hemlock and Rye, Julie of Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I'm stitching this on 37 count Russian tea cake by Legacy with Swattage 946 and DMC 3051. I will put a picture of that here. And this is my progress so far. You know, I'm feeling like, I'm pretty sure I worked on this, but anyway, well, you're gonna see it again. So there it is, isn't it pretty? Okay, so this is Holiday Rooster by Hemlock and Rye. I feel like maybe I did the bird. Maybe it was the bird that I was working on that I didn't have before. But I wrote it down on my FlossTube planner. So I want to say that I worked on it since I've seen you last. So that was Holiday Rooster. My next whip is the infamous Ira Ray Crow. And I am stitching this on 36 count marbled terracotta by XU Designs. It was gifted to me by the wonderful Julie Norton of Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. And one of you, and you know who you are, his pants are finished. Actually, he's finished. So there is Ira Ray. So I'm working across with this lower, and then I will make the decision. I think I have made the decision to put lower flowers between them, and then I will start Miss Ida May and get this chart off to the next stitcher. So that is Ira Ray Crow by the Good Housewife. Okay. So that is that piece. And then I did get some work done on Pandemic, which I am stitching on a 32 count platinum Lugana. I'm using DMC 310. This is a picture of the chart. So that is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. And this is my progress. I worked down in this this area right down in here is where I worked. And then I will show you what I have done all together, which is a huge piece of fabric. So I will start there and pull up. And it's just not straightening out. Anyway, I need 2 more hands and then I could show it to you perfectly. But that is Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. And as most of you know, when I finish stitching, or when I finish filming a FlossTube, I gravitate to this piece because it's very relaxing and it's kind of a nice little wind down. And then, so my next piece is Miss Thurza Priscilla Dawes. And again, this is by Hemlock and Rye. Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I am stitching this on 36 count Eureka by Fox and Rabbit using the called for DMC in the aged colorway. This has become my 7-day focus piece. So I will stitch on it for 7 days until it is completed. And so, wow, man, those are some dangling threads. But I have done, I had done the swan. So to the right of the swan, or your left, or I could never figure that out. There is a bird, there is a flower, there is a butterfly, and I'm working down. Julie made a comment that I don't really have that much to do, and it's not as stitch heavy in this lower part. So we should be seeing a finish on that. And it might be, other than hers, one of the first finishes. So that would be really exciting. So that's Thurza Priscilla Dawes by Hemlock and Rye. And let's see if that focuses. Yeah, you can see that beautiful bird underneath the peacock. Okay. So that is that. My next piece is my daily 2 threads, 25 minutes, and that is Temperature Butterflies by Stitching Mama. I do want this finished. It is such a lovely chart, and I did work on this. Well, of course, I took it to Sampler Symposium because of the everyday stitching. So I've almost finished September, and I have started the infrastructure for October's butterfly. I think if it helps to start getting that butterfly ready to take the colors. So that is, this is stitched on 32 count Summer Storm by Seraphim with the call for DMC. So that is Temperature Butterflies. Okay. And then my next whip is Myra Dunn, 1922 by Whilst Iris Naps. This is the piece, one of 2 pieces that I'm doing to honor my mother. And I am stitching this on 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using an unnamed Silks for You. And I did work on this morning, so I've taken the top border all the way across. So not a whole lot left to do. But I like, I'm not in a huge hurry to finish it because I like thinking about Mom while I stitch on it. So that is Myra Dunn, 1922 by Whilst Iris Naps. My next whip is Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches, and I'm stitching this on 36 count earthen by Picture This Plus with the called for overdyed floss and DMC. And this is the piece that my oldest daughter asked me to finish, and I will gift to her. And I also wanted to share that the purchase, part of that purchase at the attic, Diane gifted me, and what she said is that she says, Mother, we need to support these sellers. And I thought, how cool that she's picked up on that in just a little bit we talk. Although Diane is the daughter that watches all my FlossTubes. So thank you, Diane, for that wonderful gift and that wonderful piece that I will have to honor all the work that Jean has done for us and keeping the attic going for our spending pleasure. Okay, so this is the chart, Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches, and it says, oh my darling, it's true, beautiful things have dents and scratches too. I worked on the urn and still didn't finish it, but that is a stitch heavy urn that bird is sitting on. But the colors are just gorgeous. But once I get to the bottom of the urn, I mean, what will be the bottom part. And then I can go over and the wording, tends to go a little quicker. But yeah. So that's Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. Okay, and my last piece is the sampler for the birth announcement for my medical assistant. The child has not graduated from college yet, so we're still good. And this is Welcome to the World by Stitch Rovia, and I will put a picture of the chart there. I did work on this quite a bit also at Sampler Symposium, and it will have threads, but you can see that I'm getting very close. So that's Welcome to the World by Stitch Rovia. Birth announcement for my medical assistant. Okay, so that is my whips. So we've gotten that done. And my haul is sort of incorporated, obviously, in the stuff from the symposium and those things that I bought at the attic. And then I also did get my fabric of the month from Color and Cotton, which is pewter. So this is the January piece, and that is looking very true to what it looks like. So, and then I did pick up, I'm so sorry I'm reaching in front of you guys like that. This was just a free chart that that someone was giving away, but I just love heartstring samplery, the sweetness of these. And with Valentine's coming up, it was You Hold the Key to My Heart. I might have a sweetheart to stitch that for. So I did pick that up. Okay, so we've done finishes, we've done starts, we've done whips, which are works in progress. We talked about the little bit of haul. I did want to talk about now, as far as stitch-alongs, of course, there's Brenda's Big Birthday Sal, and I will put that information below. There's also another Sal that I'm thinking about just jumping in with because I have started the piece, and that is SewMeSarah. Oh, hi, Sarah. She is just a great FlossTuber. If you are not watching her, you must watch her, and I'm sure that you are. But her FlossTube is SewMeSarah. She's doing a, and I will put it across the bottom. It's SMS Real Comfort Sal, and it's the Real Comfort, the Jane Austen piece by Modern Folk Embroidery, and it is a piece that I have already started. So I thought it would give me a little incentive to give that some love over the in 2023 to get that closer to a finish. So I just wanted to bring that one up. So that is SMS Real Comfort Sal, and that's with SewMeSarah. So my plans, I will continue with my 7-day focus piece, which right now is Thurza Priscilla Dawes, my Redwork Sampler days. Then I will sort of just choose whatever delights me, and continue to work on Brenda's birthday sal. There is, I did watch Sheri at Colorado Cross Stitcher, her latest FlossTube, and she is going to do Winter Cross Stitch Camp. And I think the theme, please go and watch her latest video, first of all, because she shows some finishes that are just, her fully finished frame pieces are exquisite. But she describes the process there, and it's either continuing in a collection that you are working on or starting a collection. So I thought that this might be a great place to interject Brenda Gervais, Keeper of the Pins, because they're little Redwork samplers, and I would love to have a bunch of those finished, and I could work on them on Thursday. And so that starts February 1st, so you can get all the details from Sheri at Colorado Cross Stitcher. And so there, I have some thoughts about starting that on February 1st and seeing if I can get that done on February 28th. And if you show, you post a picture on Instagram of your start and your finish, and then I think that you're entered for some drawings. And she always has lovely, wonderful prizes. And so it's just fun, and you know you've got another piece finished. So I encourage you to do that. So I think that covers everything that I have on my FlossTube video planner. But one thing I just wanted to take a minute. I know a lot of people are choosing a word of the year to kind of focus on. And I have chosen sort of that phrase to focus on. And so what I'm going to look at for 2023 is move forward with love. I think if we move forward with love, I don't think you can go wrong. And so, as you all know, I started the cross-stitch piece designed by Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery in June when I retired for my retirement piece. And I do want to get back to that. I'm over halfway done with that, and I will start putting stitches in that. But I was thinking about getting back to it, and I was thinking as I watched FlossTubes and that the words, wonderful words, we have many words to choose from, and that's an individual choice. But I think for me, when I look at anything, I'm going to stop and think about moving forward with love or in love, and that's what I'm going to work on for the year. So I wanted to share that with you all. Again, if you are new and you liked what you saw, I do hope you will subscribe, share, like, and ring the bell so you know when I generally put up a video every 2 weeks. I will put a disclaimer there. I have a grandchild that's due early February, and I foresee that there could be some interruption in my regular schedule with the birth of the baby. But I know that you will all understand. I want to thank all of you for the wonderful comments that you gave Stan for the his beautiful cradle that he made for Eva and David and the baby, and your continued support for Mr. Chester. So I think that I've covered everything. I missed you guys when I was at Sanford Symposium. I loved all of you that I met that have watched the video, and thank you for coming up and saying hello. That meant a lot to me. So let's just keep doing this journey together in 2023, and I want you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. Bye.